only two datasets, performance of unseen dataset has been significantly improved. It means for generalization purposes, for performance of neural network, what is important is not only reducing data of individual datasets, but increase the appearance of the data in the most rare points. And combining and fusing datasets will lead for us for getting access to the most rare points easier, and at the same time removing the most common data from all fused datasets will lead to significant reduction of the energy. In this particular case, we were working on scattered dataset, and by fusing the datasets and using approach I described to you earlier about the understanding the dataset, we have managed to lead and decrease the size of actual dataset by 90%. That leads to 93.7 reduction in computational power. Basically, by fusing the datasets, analyzing them, and removing easy data, not all removing sufficient amount, it was bringing us significant CO2 emission savings. In addition to this, what is interesting, we have noticed improvement of performance of dataset. So basically what we are saying that by fusing datasets, we can see a significant improvement in performance, and if we will complete the analysis of understanding of our quality of the data, we can significantly reduce the energy required to compute the neural network and train efficiently. And then speaking only a couple of percentages. Here in this particular case, we are speaking about reduction of 93.7% in computational power and 90% on the data. And we are still getting the new state of art for data set that has been involved. In addition to this, when we start to look on different data sets, we notice that sometimes the data sets are not they cannot very easily mesh together. As a result, we need to do some normalization and augmentation of the data sets when we are trying to merge them together. So when we speak about data set fusion, it's not always easy to fuse data sets because normally we are combined and collected from different sources and under different conditions. Nevertheless, they do bring improvements of performance into the scale that we're considering this. As a result, we need to start to have a look on something as data segmentation, not like data augmentation within one particular data set. And we need to look on some techniques, to develop techniques for data normalization across data sets. One of such techniques we have proposed is order domain transformer preprocessing that allows us to homogenize the data sets from different collection data and slightly different features and parameters collected. Introduction of order domain transformer allowed us to reach out some extra data sets available in the area and further improve performance of neural networks. So in conclusion from what we have seen so far, we can notice that what is important is not only to understand the quality of the data, but also look on the fusion of data sets, not only the ones which are naturally can be fused together, but also look and develop some techniques for normalization across different collected data sets with the aim to increase the rarity index of rare data available. With recent advanced developments and work carried out by AI, we started to see that the actual problems we're trying to solve started to be changed. The problems reformulation is happening across the sector, and now more and more AI systems are used for event-based processing. So basically, based on event, you would like to modify something, optimize and process. When we start to look and see, and using event-based systems in AI, it would lead us to additional energy requests, because in this particular case, we are not really processing continuously information from data sets. We are processing and doing interference of neural networks only on demand, or as you want, or only on demand and appearance of event cases. When we start to analyze what data sets are available in domain for event-based optimization, we found out that there is limited number of data sets available. And as a result, we, especially in optimization and for image-based data sets. With this in mind, we needed to introduce the event-based dynamics data sets that provide us with generation of data set that would bring us more closer to the real world applications performance, where we are basically changing our status based on events slightly. And in this case, we can see how our system performs on data sets. We did propose, because we haven't managed to identify any of suitable data to complete this, we propose a DMKP solution, data set generation, that would allow us to complete event-based dynamic optimization. This multidimensional knapsack problem dataset, it's extension of classical knapsack dataset benchmarks, and includes 55 datasets, the most difficult one, GK groups, and that provides different type of parameters to generate this dataset that reflects actually our life, the way how our events are changing and changing the data, how it's happening. As a result, we have a data set that mimics more closer behavior in the real world, in dynamic and changing environment, which is very often event-based lead. In order to validate these data sets, we looked on principles of dynamic optimization, and we started to look on introduction of aphids. It's small animals that ants are looking after. Surprisingly, ants do have animals, and ants are looking after aphids in their cases. It's aphids is as home animals for ants, and they are basically providing introduction of aphids in ant colonies. It provides us the local search. So we're speaking about introduction, more deeper exploration of local search that would provide us saving the previous solutions while looking at another one. When we start to run on classical ant colonies algorithms, we found that when we are changing the state from one to another one, we really need to restart all optimization algorithm again. This is something not desirable for events-based optimization. So that's why we start to look on the ways how we can modify this further. And what's happened when we start to look into optimization and representation of algorithm. Can you see some peaks in the graph on the right? Peaks on the graph on the right, it shows the convergence and restarting the new events triggering when we start to introduce ant colony algorithm with aphids. And you could really see the peak every single time event. triggers, the peak is getting down. So it means we are looking, ant colony algorithm is not only performing on one particular state really well, but it performs significantly better across the states and has some global convergence across of variable dynamic state environment. When we try to run based on our dynamic data set to see how introduction of ant colonies with aphids will influence on overall global optimization performance. Remember that every single peak here means that we are getting the new states. You could really see that is the full restart data set, which is basically in most cases is used the most. It's reduced. It basically goes back to exactly the same measurements and would require significantly more energy for convergence before we move to the next stage. At the same time, when we start to look at ant colonies with aphids or pheromone sharing between the states of algorithms, not only inside of actual event-based, we found that there is a global convergence of algorithm performance across the states. In other words, if we were looking for solution for problems with optimization, we start to introduce mechanisms that would optimize across between the states, we can achieve better convergence and faster. So we start to have a look already on perspective of saving energy in AI systems, not only from perspective of the data, but reformulation of actual problems, and start to introduce the angles of event-based optimization, which is basically that's the most closest way how our real world operates. Every single network or solutions we are looking for is need to be implemented on hardware. We established with you already that when we start to look holistically on the system, we need to start to look on the value of the data, what the data available and how to minimize them. We need to look on the ways how to start to reduce performance and interference of networks or ant colony algorithms by introduction of event-based problem descriptions, where our systems are working only on event-based cases, so if inference and solutions is happening only if happen events, but also we need to start to look on the designing mechanisms that would allow us to optimize or run event-based across the different states. In addition to this, what is important also to start to have a look is how we can look on energy efficiency from architectural point of view of neural networks. We established with you that event-based will be the most optimal way how to run the system and how to access the program. So this will bring us the most of energy efficiency, not only from data perspective, but also from inference time of running the system or training the system. People remember the states. But next step, let's have a look on what potential will be if we are looking at neural network computing is for event-based. As a result, we started to look on the angles of actual implementation of neural networks, or what type of neural networks and structures are the most suitable for implementation of event-based programs. And one of them is started to emerge recently, is neuromorphic computing. In neuromorphic computing, we are speaking about using of spiky neural networks. These are new structures of neural networks which operate based on event-based. The great part of neural networks, of spiky neural network, is that they imitate and they are the most suitable for event-based analysis. So using spiky neural networks for event-based detection and classification, prediction, this would lead for really great energy savings. But at the same time, because spiky neural networks, their architectural difference is that the neuron activated only when it can be needed, instead of activating all neural network that is currently done on, for example, in transformers for CNN, leads to another level of savings. We try to have a look from slightly different point of view, because if we are speaking about energy savings in perspective of event-based analysis, we would like to understand how the actual algorithms can be the most effectively implemented in hardware. And here we started to look on introduction of new arithmetics for implementation of spiky neural networks, and particularly we were looking on posits. The difference, for example, in the representation of posits and floating point is that classically floating points always has some digits that are always utilized in the memory, but they are not really bringing any real value into the accuracy of the numbers. So if you will have a look in representation of a posit has additional bit that provides the information about how many of bits and accuracy we can provide. Exactly the same number for exactly the same number of bits, 16 bits, Euler number, in using posits will bring increased accuracy. You could see it down. So basically, by just switching from floating point to posit, we are using exactly the same memory of 16 bits, but we are increasing the accuracy of these numbers. So we start to look that we can start to increase the accuracy and maybe utilizing less of memory in performance of algorithms. If we start to speak about neural networks, we need first of all to understand fundamentals behavior of the posits and during firing and spiky neural network. What we've done, we took every single element that could be that brings potential implementation of spiky neural network and tried to evaluate of performance of floats and posits to see if they're basically combined together. If you could see from the graph, they are very much consistent in performance of quality performance provision of posits and floating points, except one particular case. It means that we need to use posit with care, or we can start to modify the definition of posits in such a way that we can have consistent performance. When we start to look into the performance of the systems of one particular case closer, what we found that during 100 milliseconds or 1000 millisecond duration of responses of spikes in neural network, at the very beginning, if you could see the posits and floating points, they are very much combined together and on the signals, as it has been shown in the left. But on the right, over 1000 milliseconds, we can start to see the shift. And shift is become more and more significant longer we run the neural network. This mainly happening due to shift which is bringing for increased accuracy in the posits. With this in mind, we slightly change and improve, enhance the definition of the posits in such a way that it will provide us more continuous and stable performance over the time. And as you could see, as a result of improvements for the last 50 millisecond simulation, before enhancement, we had significant delay, which was causing non-performance of algorithm. And after the enhancement, we can really see that there is a perfect combination. So basically, we can enhance POSIT to the level that we remove the reasons why it performs so badly, and we can start to use them on in the context of spiky neural network with enhanced behavior. When we try to actually directly introduce POSITs in implementation of training spiky neural networks, we found that we try to push our boundaries and try to use as less of bits as possible. So because it would bring us energy savings, not only on the level of size of data sets or global optimization, but also it will bring our boundaries in terms of how many bits we need to implement into event-based systems in the hardware, the minimal amount that would require us performance. And as you can see, based on this performance, 8-bit performance does not perform really well. It means that it doesn't contain enough information to make the neural network work running very well. But the minimum of representation of 16 bits and would bring for us already some improvements of network performance. And if we will start to implement equivalent of 32 bits, the POSITs or floating points, we start to receive the steady behavior of the system. In other words, as we can see in relation to data or for neural networks, varies boundaries, the range of parameters. In this particular case, it's minimum parameters that must be used in implementation of spiky neural network to enhance the performance of algorithms at the same time, utilizing the minimum amount of bits available. And in our case, we established that it's at least 16 bits must be present in a representation in order to get a Looking back on what we have done and what we discussed with you today, event-driven is on the edge. It will be the future in many applications, as it will be driven of energy savings. And we discussed with you energy savings on different levels. And moving inference and the smart calculation on the edge, it will be the future. But in order to do this, we will need, this would bring us additional savings on communication of the data, because in this case, we don't need to send continuously measured data, but we do inference and calculation of necessary data on the edge and transmit to the clouds only with key elements necessary already processed. We look on the edge. If we look at the edge, we need to have a small, efficient, reliable models that will provide us great energy efficiency, but at the same time, looking on the way how we can minimize the energy further at different levels from, and I showed you examples how the energy can be minimized while performance of algorithms has been improved at the level of data analysis, at the level of focusing on real problems where the states are changing dynamically, and at the level of the hardware. Fault explainability or explainability basing using not only weights of neural networks, but physics-based models or existing theory knowledge will start to form the future emerging challenges. With emerging of Gen AI, some of areas that could be leading to improving this is in employment and involvement of Gen AI facilities for explainability issues, as well as looking on how emerging technologies on event base could provide us more optimal data minimized solutions. And if we will be looking further down on directions, quantum AI is already in the near future, not as far as a distant future as some people are saying, as technology is developed very rapidly and that will bring more benefits, and we need to be aware of and looking on approaches that could already accommodate AI algorithms in this space. Here, I would like to say thanks to all my team who was working on our report and on all experimental work that I have demonstrated for you. We collaborate widely with a large variety of the companies, and I would like to thank you very much for listening, and please get in touch. On the left you will see QR code of our digital center, and on the right you will see QR code of LinkedIn account where you can get in touch. Thank you very much for your attention, and many thanks for your time to provide speech and share information.
Thank you, Professor Tatiana, for a wonderful speech. Any questions from audience? Any questions? You can use a mic nearer to you to ask any questions if there is a question. Okay, so if there is no question, our next keynote speaker is Mr. Santosh. Mr. Santosh Gore. Mr. Santosh Gore is a founder, director of Sai Info Solutions. His visionary leadership has been at the forefront of transforming higher education landscapes across 5 countries, 5 continents for over 19 years, with strategic offices in India, UAE, UK, Europe, and USA. He provides localized expertise with global reach. His expertise spans university establishments, international collaborations, NIRF and QS ranking strategies, NAC, CAA, and ABET accreditation, and academic excellence programs. International conference hosting. He works as a preferred partner for institutions seeking global recognitions and growth. His worldwide office network ensures personalized service across all major education markets. Currently, Mr. Gore is providing consultancy services to 150 plus reputed universities across the globe. He leads international academic collaborations and IT consultancy services. Alongside his industry work, he serves as a visiting professor at multiple universities. He has an extensive research profile with 50 plus articles, publications in Scopus and Web of Science, Index journals, and H index of 9, and an I-10 index of 8. And also, he has partnered with Scopus, Web of Science, Index journals. He also delivered numerous workshops and keynote sessions, plenary talks, and major conferences, and received 50 plus national and international awards from reputed organizations globally. With this introduction, I welcome Mr. Santosh Gore for today's keynote address. Thank you. Thank you.
for attending this keynote session, and I'd like to express my thanks to Santosh and Pillani team for inviting me as a keynote speaker for this wonderful conference. It's been 3 days, many delegates, volunteers, presenters, many delegates were enjoying the conference, and I hope all of you are also enjoying so far. So with this, I'd like to start my keynote session. My subject is the higher education landscape in the age of AI and Indian perspective, wherein I'm going to present what exactly AI is doing in the higher education sector, what are the things that are going or working, what is the challenges we are facing, what would be the probable solutions to that challenges, and what would be the future agenda, like what would be the future AI in higher education. So nowadays, like everybody knows what is the AI and all, like how it is being penetrated in almost all the field. So higher education is also one of that penetrated sector, and I thought like I should present the presentation on the same topic because I am having expertise in the same. I have visited around 150 plus industries across giving my consultancies, and I have like certain case studies and observation wherein I analyze certain points wherein these studies being done. But instead of focusing on global data, I have made it short and simple. Now I will present the data related to India only. So maybe in future conference I will be providing the global landscape as well. But now I am talking about India. So coming to my profile, like I had around 70 plus year of experience in the global education sectors, wherein I am providing cultural services for various universities for their day-to-day activities such as acquisition, ranking, having international collaboration, research consultancy, likewise. Then after I hold around 50 plus research paper in various domains. My specialty is in computer science, but like now I've converted into the education specialist now. So coming to the next point, as I mentioned, I'm going to present you Indian perspective. So why I selected the Indian landscape? The main reason is in the first statement. In India, we had around 1100 universities. Furthermore, 45,000 plus higher education colleges. It is only higher education, not a KG school. I'm talking about higher education colleges. And 40 million plus students. It's a massive data, massive volume. When I was in other countries like Malaysia, Singapore, like that, so this volume is far, it's almost double than the entire population of the Malaysia. So this is what like the potential is of like this. And the most important thing, why AI is being penetrated very rapidly, very progressively in India. The reason is average age in our Indian youngsters. We are the youngsters. Like average age is around 30 years. So it becomes very easy to adopt new technology, to implement it, to use it in day-to-day life. So that is what the main potential is. And reason why now the AI is resetting our global education, and India is entering its transformation phase from traditional education system towards the smart education system. So, as I mentioned, today I am going to present you exactly where India is standing now. So, if you could see this rapid shift, like the higher education system, many institutions, especially from engineering, I was appreciate, have already adapted all these AI technology tools in their day-to-day life. They are not asking any questions anymore, like shall I use AI or not? There is no confusion. They have decided and they are using the AI in their day-to-day activity. Whereas compared to in other sectors, in other countries or continents, they are still confused whether AI is dangerous to us, whether we shall use, we shall not, what happens if we use AI, they are like in ambiguous situation. But we have already started using it. There is no question. It is helping us, and we are moving with AI in day-to-day activity. So to avoid further issues, to avoid further challenges, we have, like in India, have already implemented AI uses policies across various institutions like education, government, public domain, all. There are certain policies in place, and it is like in force, and where people are using it like what you can say properly manner, so that there will be no misuse of AI in public domain. That in result allows the student to use the AI tool in day-to-day study, which helps them to understand, to learn the topic in more detail, and hence I can say AI will become a strategic enabler to the teaching learning method. So, like in what you can say in studying enabler hazard, like we can see nowadays many teachers are using smart boards, like we are seeing some sort of smart boards and all. So many institutions are using this smart board, that is AI enabled to teach students to with regards to any day-to-day topics, any particular doubt very solving. Earlier, it is happening like teacher has to prepare a presentation. They have to prepare the presentation, and then they are taking the lectures, and based on that, there might be certain challenges or some things to be discussed after the lectures also. But now scenario is changed. Everyone is doing the live presentation. All the data, all the simulation, all the illustrations are there in it. Teacher are just simply walking towards the smart board. They are just typing any particular concept, and then getting the relevant data, external videos, graphs, figures, all the things itself in the board. Even they are preparing their session notes, they are preparing questionnaire, they are preparing some sort of opinion polls or doubt solving session, all this into the smart boards. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we are in huge volume, 40 million students. So we require something to address entire volume. You might be aware of that due to the population burst, it is not possible for now to maintain the student-teacher ratio. So, how to handle this massive data, how to handle this massive request from the student? It is not possible for a single teacher to address thousands of query in a day. He has to do certain study as well, he has their own personal work as well. So, many of the institutions have started their own AI-powered virtual chatbot, which is solving the queries in day-to-day. Not only the class hours, after the class hours as well. So all these kind of tools and techniques are being utilized to integrate the the AI into the teaching and learning method. So this is how the teaching learning scenario is shaped. So how AI is helping in higher education? I'm not talking about only teaching. I'm talking about entire higher education process. So education starts with the admission, like for any institution, start with the admission. Then there are lots of internal things. So nowadays, many of the universities have started application of AI in admission and enrollment process. Instead of putting a counselor, a physical counselor, AI-based counselor will have interaction with the student, those who wish to have admission in a particular course. They will have some questionnaires, interaction. Based on that, it will find the interest, and they will recommend certain courses and program to the students. So this is what the starting phase is. After that, after we had admission, we have to do academic planning. So for the academic planning, again, there are numerous students, numerous lectures, timetable and all things. So all these things being generated by using AI to optimize the resources, to optimize the load, and to optimize entire workflow. After that, we are going to find out the student success analysis. We are going to monitor students' attendance, their engagement in the particular system, how they are responding to a particular system, whether they are doing their assessment on timely manner or not, whether they are attending the lecture properly or not, whether their frequency is proper or not. Like many times in India, we found like in past couple of years, students are getting dropout just because like after 1 or 2 years they feel that engineering is not my domain, medical is not my domain. Many people were shifting from engineering to let's say singing, acting, lots of things are like painting like that. They identify themselves as an actor or painter after 2 years. So this thing is that was happening just because there was no proper consultation. So in the phase 1, as I mentioned, AI will have an interaction so as student will be directed to the right post. After the directing, our system or the AI system will take care whether the particular student is on track or not. If he is missing, if he is lacking in particular point, they are going to provide certain support or certain inputs to the students, so they will be in touch with the particular teacher, they will be in a particular track, so they will be to drop out. So nowadays, dropout ratio is also drastically dropped itself. Second, the last point is assessment and automation. It is the most popular application of the AI nowadays. Every student are using ChatGPT and similar application to generate the assessment assignments and all. And in the other hand, teachers are also using the ChatGPT to analyze the assignment, to give the particular the flag shake or like preparing certain reports and all. So this is what we can say is a truly engagement of the AI. So as a the next generation system, or as a what we can say the enhanced system, everybody is willing to implement the AI. First thing I'd like to clarify here, AI is not an illegal activity. There is some misconception. If I use AI to generate the paper or something, it is illegal or something. No. In one side, we are insisting everyone to use AI, and in other side, we are talking like you are using ChatGPT, you are using AI to generate the thing. My suggestion is to use AI, but whatever the content are generated, you have to monetize the content. You have to read it clearly. If you find any particular discrepancy, correct it, do amendments, and then submit the particular topic concern faculty or concern authorities. So that is the true usage of it. Do not just generate the data, copy paste and forward it to the professor or to the journal. So that is not the right use. Alright? Solution is to generate the data, have certain learning, have some sort of finding. Use AI as a tool, not a machine generation report. It could be a tool to generate the data. But whatever the data is used, it is in front of your system. You just have to collect the data, and based on that utilization, you can plan the data at the sections. Next is, as I mentioned, AI is penetrating into the edtech session, in education, higher education. Naturally, it is happening. Many AI-based edtech startups and companies were being involved in this AI teaching learning method. So there are many tools and techniques being generated by these companies to make efficient learning, and they're making some sort of helpful tool to make it better day-to-day activity. Some of the tools are like AI-based test generation, like we will generate the live test, we will send it to the student, they will scan it, they will do the live test. Virtual labs and simulation. Like as we mentioned in India, there are several categories of institutions. It is not possible to have full-fledged, fully enabled lab in every institution. So solution is to have a virtual lab. Instead of investing huge amount of money in a lab, they can have virtual lab. They can access the desired feature in virtual lab as well. Next, like as I mentioned in particular admission centers, they are making some counseling. Same counseling is happening for the interview preparation as well. If anybody is willing to apply for any particular job, AI system is taking care of having some sort of pre-evaluation of that candidate, whether that particular candidate is really eligible for the particular job or not. If he is eligible, what could be the probable questions during the interview? How should he present the resume? How should he answer the questions? That sort of preparation is being taken care by the AI instead of physical PPO or instead of soft skill trainers or something. So all these tools, they are being manufactured by this AI company. Last month, I was there in Delhi. There was one exhibition, BDAC. It is a higher education exhibition, wherein many tech companies and tech venture was exclusively dealing in the education sector were participated. I saw one of the best tool over there, which is a stress management tool, like stress analysis tool. So that is the kind of small kiosk in entrance or in a lobby. Whenever you simply walk into the lobby, it will scan your face within a fraction of a second, and it will identify whether the particular person or student or teacher in a stress or not, if he or she needs any immediate support. If it is so, this particular kiosk will intimate to the concerned person in the particular institution so as necessary action can be taken. Nowadays, we know like what is the pressure on students' mind. They are feeling huge pressure due to enormous demands in industry, huge syllabus. All these pressures are being so all these things are being implemented in day-to-day activity. So that is a kind of edtech system is being implemented. So next is, this is the participation ratio. I have created the participation of student in AI system in two different perspectives. One is in rural and urban sector. Blue represent the male and the orange one represents the female ratio. Whereas in second graph, we represent the government and private sector. Naturally, private sector are aggressive. They are taking the lead in AI implementation in the day-to-day higher education section. Next is like how AI and industry is expecting the outcome from the education system. As I mentioned, in spite of the course, like even if you are from pharmacy, if you are from mechanical or any particular background, industries are expecting some sort of AI skill set in the student. They are at least they are expecting as like a soft skill. They are expecting certain basic skills and ability to understand AI, skills and ability to generate the report, to present certain data, to do certain analysis, even though you are from non-technical background. So that sort of preparation is also being taken care by the AI during the higher education section. Now, coming to the challenges. As I mentioned, these are the pyramid which I have done to categorize the institutions. So there are three categories of institutions, higher education institution in India. The last one, the bottom one is the rural colleges. They are having, they have started initiation in implementing the AI, but they are facing the challenges with regards to the infrastructure, connectivity. Next is mid-time. They are having some sort of average kind of infrastructure, and they have started propagating, but they have like more willingness to improvise their day-to-day activity, and they are really like taking care of implementation of 100% resources towards the AI and higher education technologies. And the last one is elite tier. They are already ahead in the time. They are using all the facilities and they are spreading worldwide across the all the sectors in the education. So in that three tier, there are how AI is being prepared. First will be the faculty preparedness or a teacher preparedness. Many times people are asking whether AI is going to replace the faculty or teacher or not. No. My answer is no. Because AI is a tool. In previous few sessions I have already explained. Consider AI as like a cutlery. Your food will remain as it is. Only we are changing the cutlery and plates. So it will not change anything from the food. So education system will remain as it is, but AI will be the helpful cutlery to present the things in well manner, and student can engage in the particular teaching and learning method. So first preparedness is towards the teacher. They should be understand. No, AI is not replacing us. In fact, AI is helping us. Instead of spending 10 hours to prepare the topic, now AI is helping the preparation within 30 minutes or 40 minutes. So again, teacher are getting some spare time to invest in their personal life. So this is one small chart wherein I have generated one preparedness chart. First will be, as I mentioned, the teacher preparedness. Besides that, there are two factors, like student preparedness. Students are already prepared. They are willing to have these AI tools and techniques, and they are already engaged as well. After student and teacher, it comes to the institution, and after the institution, it comes to the national. So wherein huge demand will be addressed by using new latest technologies like 6G, 5G, bandwidth and all, like satellite communication. And national policies are being in place. They are doing their best to provide the last mile connectivity and to implement the AI in higher education. So, So the AI offers something India desperately needs, that is scalability. As I mentioned, emphasis on the volume. We are really in need of this AI to maintain the scalability, to address all the needs of students and their day-to-day activity. So next, industry. So as per the industry needs, as I mentioned, they are expecting AI in all the sectors. Parallelly, education system has started developing their own program like AI in business, AI in health culture, agriculture, healthcare, all. So this is the result of integration of the AI in industry, which is doing the impact on higher education as well. Next, this is what the closing, what you say, the conclusion of this particular talk. Like India aims to build a higher education system that is AI empowered but human led. That is more important. Digitally advanced but socially inclusive, globally competitive but locally relevant. So we are using AI to we are here to adopt the AI, to harness AI, to uplift the community, and to build skill and future ready manpower. So this is my closing thought. I already discussed, like as I mentioned in various communication. Yes, AI is changing the shape. AI is changing the future. It is no more a taboo or no more a question whether AI is coming or not. Yes, AI is there, and we are there to welcome the AI, and we are there to take the benefit of AI. So thank you all of you for listening me carefully and giving your valuable time. If in case anybody interested, you can be in touch with me for any further collaboration or for any particular assistance. And I would like to thank you again, Team Pillani, for inviting me for this wonderful session. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh, for wonderful insights on the statistics of Indian institutions. And now we have Dr. Jacinta De Silva here with us, Director of Research of Sustainability Institute, Dubai. And also we have Dr. George, he's an Associate Professor at the Faculty of Engineering and Information Science, University of Colombo, Dubai. So I request Mr. Santosh to felicitate Dr. Jacinta De Silva and Dr. George with the memento.
I request Dr. Kumar to please join us on the stage.
All delegates, students, please join us for a high tea in auditorium, room number G08. After that, sessions will begin in just another 15 minutes. It's supposed to start by 10:30. It will be delayed by 15 minutes. So all delegates, please go to G08 auditorium for the high tea. After that, go to your respective session rooms. And our student volunteers, please guide them to go to G08 and guide them to go to their respective session rooms.
Sorry, please be on here only. I'd like to felicitate Dr. Jagdish Naik to provide us an opportunity to be a part of this event. I would request Dr. Jagdish to be on stage.